Welcome to Voices in the Back. Over the next few weeks, we'll be having conversations with BIPOC Minnesota artists on the topic of racial issues, and at the end, a performance.
We'd like to thank all our sponsors for their support, including the Minnesota Music Coalition, the Hook and Ladder Theater, Indeed Brewing Company, First Avenue, The Warming House, and The Current, along with funding from the Metropolitan Regional Arts Council that helping us make this series possible.
If you'd like to support us and help keep our series going, please donate to our Give Minnesota page, either on the screen right now or linked below. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter using our handle @VoicesInTheBack.
Welcome to Voices in the Back. We are pleased to introduce Sophia Eris. Thank you for being here so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you please introduce yourself, say a little bit about what you do, and where do you call home?
My name is Sophia Eris. I am an artist and a DJ and a radio personality. And I've been in Minneapolis for almost 13 years now. And since I'm a military brat and I've been to 13 schools and moved around very often, I feel like Minneapolis is my home as long as I've ever lived anywhere. So I call this my home now.
How did you first get involved with the music scene here? And what about that appealed to you?
Okay, so I moved here in 2008 to go to school for music business. So before Minneapolis, I lived in Ohio. Both my parents were military, like I said before. And I remember being a junior and seeing the movie Brown Sugar for the first time. I mean, like, I want to be Taye Diggs. That's what I want to do. I want to find an artist. I want to find Mos Def. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to find a Mos Def. And then I saw Purple Rain for the first time too, in the same vicinity. And I'm like, that's the artist I'm going to find. I'm going to find Prince. And I'm going to whatever. Yeah, both movies combined made me realize that's where I belong. Because low key I was once the internet happened, I was constantly on my computer trying to find new music that no one else had. Just constantly. And I would burn my own CDs, sell them in high school, make my own mixtapes. I was just really pulled towards voices that were unheard. And I want to put people on all the time and be the one to be like, yeah, you haven't heard this yet, have you? You know, that. So when I understood what an A&R was, and then I understood what Minneapolis was because of Prince, I was looking at schools online that had this specific facet. And IPR had a degree for music business. And I told my parents, I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to go here. And they're like, girl, take your money for soccer, because I played soccer my whole life, and I had these scholarships, and I was like, but I want to do. They're like, no, that's not a real degree. Music business is not real. Just go where the money is. And so I went to this school my freshman year, kind of 40 minutes outside of Dayton, Ohio, called Urbana, and I played my freshman year of college there. Took the money, but I had 3 concussions going into college. And so it wasn't that fun for me at the time, because the physical I had going into my freshman year of college, they were like, oh, you got to wear this headband thing now. This is a padded headband you have to wear. And if you get one more concussion, you're done. And I was like, done with what? Life or soccer? So I just, it wasn't.
Either way, it's not good.
No, it wasn't fun. And my parents saw me play my first year. They understood I wasn't happy, and they encouraged me to go to Minneapolis my sophomore year. So I'm thankful for my parents every day for allowing me to support my dreams. And that's why I worked really hard when I got here. So I came here, majored in music business, graduated in 2009 with an associate's degree, and immediately jumped into artist promotion, and also kind of delved into the scene and got to meet people like Christoph Crane and Idea and yourself and Milbert Singh and all these artists initially, and then it kind of developed into more of the scene, and then meeting Lizzo. And low key, I was doing my own songs on the low. I was going to the Desdemona's open mics at Blue Nile, actually. And that's what was getting my feet wet, when just understanding how to perform and use my voice, which was an awesome era, actually. I missed that.
Hell yeah.
That was great. So so I got my feet wet, and that's pretty much what I was doing at the time. And I did like a show that Unicus booked me for my first show from Cancer at Nomad. And I remember doing that. I had like 3 songs, but I did them. It was great. And then the next year in 2011 is when I met Lizzo, and then her and I just shared what we have created so far and just created a group called The Chalice. And then it just was a snowball effect from there. And that went from The Chalice into Girl Party into her creating her solo record and wanting me to go on tour with her because I was on the song Batches and Cookies. And she's like, just be my DJ. And I was like, okay. And then I learned how to DJ, and then it just kind of went from there. And we are still here now. So that's kind of how I jumped in.
So,
saying yes was a big part of it.
So yeah, that kind of leads into the next question. Like, with all those different hats that you've worn, like, how did you make time and space to do all of those things? You know what I'm saying? Like, and kind of what advice would you give to someone who's just kind of like looking from the outside in? Like, how would I even start to do one of those? You know? Yeah.
I think saying yes is a big part of it. That was like so when I got here and went to IPR, the second class I had that day was called Enter the Dragon. And this man name was Scooter Nelson, I believe was my professor's name. And he was like...
Shout out to Scooter.
Shout out to Scooter. So this is what he said. He was like, we're all going down. He's like, the ship is going down. He's like, the business is going down of music. Because it's in 2008, and this is when the internet was like stealing everything. And this is like my first day. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, the business is going down, but the industry is booming. He's like, make sure you say yes to everything. Make sure you don't limit yourself. Make sure you stay open, because unless you try something, you don't know what you're capable of. And that's what I did. I just kept saying yes and putting myself in the most uncomfortable situations ever, and being the most amateur person in the room and surrounding myself with masters of their craft. And that's what made me get better. And like it's like I just wrote this song over the summer. I got asked to write the Space Jam 2 soundtrack over the summer, which was like
hell
huge.
yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. I spent a whole month. I made like 15 songs. It was great. Not the whole soundtrack, but they just asked me to write for it. But anyway, there was a song I did. It was like, get comfortable being uncomfortable so you can be unstoppable. And that's a huge like lesson that I feel like people should understand, because the more comfortable you are being uncomfortable, no one can really stop you. And the more you stay in that like friction, the more you can just grow. And so when it comes to your question about like what made me be able to wear those hats, it's because I was constantly getting myself in situations where it was so uncomfortable, but I had to grow. I was forced to grow. I was forced to have to step up, and faking it till you make it is a very like, people get offended by that sometimes. They think it means like faking your passion, but it doesn't. It means faking your fear. Like, you step into a room with a bunch of amazing people. If Beyonce's watching you perform from stage right, which she has before, and I've been there, like she's literally, I've seen her from my peripheral. And I've been freaking out inside, but I'm not acting like it. You know, it's like being able to handle and jump in where you know you're gonna freak out, but don't act like it. Just act like you are meant to be there, because you are. If the universe puts you in a certain situation, be open to it and receive it. And you only know if you're not supposed to be there unless you try. You know, you gotta try things to know if you're not supposed to do them or not. So.
Right on.
I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah.
I went in a circle.
Anyway. What's been your experience like as a Minnesota musician of color? I know that's kind of a big question, but if you kind of summarize that in any way.
I think I remember there was a point in time. I think once Lizzo and I like united, I think it became something that gave us more opportunities. And it may sound, I don't know. I don't really care how it sounds. It's true. Like it, because I mean, obviously we were two talented individuals that came together, but the fact that we were Black women, and I don't know what the history was before us coming up until that point, but I think that was a part of the magic that people gravitated to, because we were two Black women. And I would say being an artist of color has been interesting. It's an interesting question to, I guess I feel like I've gotten opportunities because I am a woman of color. but I also feel like I've seen other people of color and women of color and non-binary and trans people of color may not get the same opportunities that I have. So I can't really, I don't know about other people's experiences, but I know I feel like I've gotten where I'm at because of working really hard. But sometimes I feel like people do look at us as like a niche and something that they need representation for, so we get booked because of that reason only. And honestly, at first it was because I felt like it was because I was a woman. Like, especially jumping in the DJ realm when there wasn't many women DJs, except like Blowtorch that I knew she was one of my mentors. I think that was I remember someone telling me they booked me because I was a girl. And that was something I was like, really? Like, he's like, well, yeah, like, the promoter told me that women DJs are hot right now, so that's the only reason why I booked you is because you were a girl. I have no idea what you sounded like. And I was like, wow. That's something that I've been wanting to like fight against. It's like, and I know many women that agree with me. It's like, I would love there to be a day when it's like, I'm not a female rapper, I'm a rapper. I'm not a female DJ, I'm a DJ, you know? And I know I just said I'd get an all-female band earlier, but because it was like the whole stage was like 20 women, which is like something that Lizzo and I have always fought for, is just representation of women. But it would be nice to get to a place where it's not just about being of color or being a woman. It's like you are there. And that's a long journey to go. But we'll see.
You're in the process of doing Aunties, yes, of course. And you're doing that with Lady Midnight and DJ Keezy. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, DJ Keezy. I was wondering, what made you want to make your own venue, start your own venue?
So it's something that I've had in the back of my mind for a while since I've been touring. Just the venues that I've gotten to experience around the world have been amazing. And the love and respect I have for Minneapolis, coming here and becoming the artist that I am here, and experiencing the venues and how special venues are here and how important they are and how important the culture of expressing yourself is here. I had this like vision of wanting to start a venue, wanting to own one. I had yet to, everything I've been doing since I moved here has been building with women. And so of course, going into this endeavor of owning my own space, I wanted to do it with women of color. And I wanted to be able to amplify marginalized communities that don't really get opportunities here because of who they are. I just know there's so much talent here. It's such a beautiful, enriched city of the most amazing magic I've ever seen. And that's from touring, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something very special about, there's something in the water here and in St. Paul. Honestly, St. Paul specifically. Oh my God. But in Minneapolis, where I've lived, it's amazing. So I wanted to own a venue that really uplifted and embraced communities that may not have been looked at or overlooked, pretty much. And also, not just have a venue, but a resource. I want not only to have have a venue that obviously amplifies performances, but also during the day, we can have a workshop where people can learn lighting, production, sound, and how to navigate the industry if you didn't know, and have that youth facility there during the day, but at night have it roll over into the actual venue. And that vision was obviously collectively created with not just myself, but Lady Midnight and Keezy. And that's something that I had an interview at the NPR the other day and with Dana from First Ave, actually, and we're on air, and Dana's like, they're like, it's the same thing that, like, we're going down, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It reminded me when I just got here for school. I was like, we're going down. The business is going down. You know, that's how they're like, what the venues are going down. And I don't know what attracts me to things that are going down, but I want to like, but it's a perfect time to build one right now. Although the venues that are existing are going down, it's the perfect time to start building one. So by the time they open back up, you're right there with them, and you already adapted to what it's gonna be. I'm excited to be at the forefront of what the live music experience will be once it opens back up. Because once it opens back up, oh my God, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be insane. Everyone's gonna want to be at a show. So Right now, I'm in just the foundational aspect and building the blueprint of what the live experience will be, and I want to amplify the BIPOC community more than ever with this. So
yeah. Now I want to talk about some artists that maybe you think that should be on VITB.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Dua is amazing. Dua. I think Big Silky, who's someone, and Angel Davenport are amazing. I think Nerdy is great. I think Camilla Love is outstanding. Those are like my favorites right now, I guess. There's Boo Boo. She's great. I think those are like the heavy hitters to me right now. With songs I'm like, okay, like they make me want to replay their songs, you know. So I'm a fan of all those people.
Last but not least, is there anything you have going on that you want to plug, or just anything you want to kind of shout out in general?
So I've been creating this. So I've definitely been creating a lot over the summer, and I've gotten to collaborate with this man named Casey, Casey Anderson is his name, and the producer named Aaron Baum. And I was trying to figure out what made me happy. I think everyone was trying to chase as much joy as they could over the summer, and I've always wanted to make like wedding songs, like love duet songs, like funk, like September, like songs you play at your wedding reception songs. And I've gotten to do that all summer. And so the album's called Reception, and we're gonna
so hold
album's
up.
gonna be called
Wedding songs and Space Jam 2. That's like dream come true.
This summer it's been the best. I've been chasing my joy, you know. So I did these love songs. I did these love songs with my friend Casey, and so the group is called Reception, and the album is called The Reception, and so that'll be coming out later this year. And they make you happy. They're songs you could two-step to and play at your wedding reception, and so I'm really excited for that. Then I'll have another album coming out next year with me and my producer Profis. That's just Sophia Eris. So there are two things I'm coming. And watch out for Space Jam 2. That's coming in July of 2021.
I'm like really excited about that Space Jam now.
Oh my God. Yes.
Dope. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor to have you as a guest.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. This is amazing. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me. Thanks.
So,
you.
all right.
Great music lives here. We are committed to amplifying Minnesota music to keep it independent and influential. Get closer to Minnesota music with The Local Show and The Duluth Local Show. Sunday nights on The Current.
Voices in the Back is proud to present Sophia Eris.
I'm Sophia Eris, by the way. Let's go. Make it on my own. I can't fake it in my zone. Tryna take me off my throne, and I tongue you in the stone. But who's up? I choose up. Hustle didn't have a home, so I cooked it and I took it out the fire just to get inspired. I'm higher. Ain't no red dye in the place for me. I'm flyer. They gon' read up on my history. Like took over the city on a billboard looking pretty. How she do that? Where her crew at? It's better left a mystery.
Who got the boom that'll make the boys go like? Who got the boom that'll make the boys go like?
Oh.
Boom that'll make the boys go like? Who got the boom make the boys go like?
We ain't never undone. We behind no one, no one. When the sunlight comes, we gon' rise. We gon' rise. Memorize it. I'm the one that hypnotize it. Monopoly money, popping like the Easter bunny. Energizer on that DMT, I buy the weed. Throw them suckers on that shit, but it don't bother me. Set it up, show on the mic, move. Showing up, proof. On the real, stay true. Genuine as ever, all the birds will flock together. Cause I'm floating like a butterfly, singing like a
Who got the boom that'll make the boys go like? Who got the boom that'll make the boys go like? Who got the boom that'll make the boys go like? Who got the boom make the boys go like?
I got that boom, make that boy straight salty. I got that boom, make that girl straight want me. I got that boom, make that boy straight salty. I got that boom, make that DJ call me. You never thought that I could be this high. You never thought that I could breathe this fire. Let 'em know, let 'em know. You never knew that I could break your spine. You never knew that I could heal your mind. Let 'em know, let 'em know. We ain't never undone. We behind no one, no one. When the sunlight comes, we gon' rise, we gon' rise. I got that boom, I got that boom, boom. I got that boom, I got that boom, boom, boom. I got that boom, I got that boom, boom. Hey, I got that boom, I got that boom, boom, boom. Normally I'll be like, I got that boom, I got that boom, boom. Thank you. This goes out to Anastasia. Shout out to the fanny packs in the building. Thank you, Voices in the Back, for having me. Let's go. Remember this. Venice Beach on my days. Roller blades. Just got paid. Sunset colors, finest brothers, ain't no clutter, they all love ya. Double beaches, margaritas, flyest creatures. Just got paid. Sunner shades on the waves, kicking back. I got my fanny pack. Yup, you know about me, I got my fanny pack. Yup, yellow, pink, and green, I got my fanny pack. Yup. Better say the right thing, I got my fanny pack. I got my fanny pack. Pack it up, bring it back. Sipping on yak in the lab. I got my fanny pack. Zip it up, pack it in. Clip the belt on for the win. I got my fanny pack. Pack it up, bring it back. Click, clack, snap with a strap. I got my fanny pack. What? I got my fanny pack. Ice cream, almond butter, touch you like Egyptian lover. Tamagotchi, giga pet, bet you haven't hit it yet. Sweat shirt off the shoulder, we ain't ever getting older, just colder. Icy, try me, I got my fanny pack. Yep, you don't know about me, I got my fanny pack. Yep, yellow, pink, and green, I got my fanny pack. Yep. Better say the right thing, I got my fanny pack. I got my fanny pack. Pack it up, bring it back. Stick it on, jack in the lab. I got my fanny pack. Zip it up, pack it in. Clip the belt down for the win. I got my fanny pack. Pack it up, bring it back. Click, clack, strap with a strap. I got my fanny pack. What? I got my fanny pack. Okay. Yo. Shout out to Voices in the Back. My voice is in the bag. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. I'm Sophia Eris. I got my fanny. Thank you.